African Democratic Congress, ADC, has lashed out at the EFCC for its investigation into several prominent opposition figures, including former Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal, former Imo State Governor Emeka Ihedioha, and Senator David Mark. The party accused the EFCC of conducting a politically motivated campaign aimed at discrediting opposition leaders ahead of the 2027 elections. Bolaji Abdullahi, ADC's interim national publicity secretary, described the agency's actions as a choreographed media trial orchestrated by the ruling party to intimidate opposition voices. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has also criticized the investigations, warning that such tactics could undermine Nigeria's fight against corruption and threaten democratic institutions. Reports reaching us now says Tambuwal has been released. Jide Ologun is a legal practitioner. He joins me now to unpack this political and legal matter. Thank you very much for joining us. The timing is being cited, the fact that they are in opposition. What's your thinking on this allegation that it's politically motivated witch hunt?
Thank you very much. Let me lay a foundation. EFCC was actually established by PDP. That was by the 2004 EFCC Act under Olusegun Obasanjo as the president, and it was a partial response to the Financial Action Task Force globally that named Nigeria as one of the 23 countries not supporting the fight against money laundering. So EFCC has been there, and some of the personalities being investigated now came from PDP, even if they are migrating to other parties. So let's lay that foundation. And of course, if there is an economic and financial crime agency, the job must be done. And when you talk about investigation, there are allegations. And the one against Tambuwal, for instance, has to do with about 189 billion naira. And he's been released. And if the investigations warrant prosecution, then you proceed to prosecution. It's no longer a governor. It's not covered by any immunity, so to say.
But the argument here is that, I mean, the timing, this could have been done perhaps a year ago, 2 years ago. Why is it being done now? Because they are alleging that because they joined the opposition in a fight for 2027, that all of this is about the upcoming election. It's a political opposition statement. When Chief Olusegun Obasanjo started EFCC, and Nuhu Ribadu was the chairman of EFCC, Tafa Balogun was a very close friend of Olusegun Obasanjo. He went to jail. In fact, Nuhu Ribadu was an assistant commissioner of police, and you can imagine arresting a former IG. But the law must have its way. You see, so those statements, like I said, it's just an investigation. And if you look at Section 36 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, particular section and subsection 5, it gives the presumption of innocence. So even if you allege some criminal allegations against a defendant, then the defendant is presumed innocent until the case is proved beyond all reasonable doubt. They are too quick to allege a political inference in this case because these persons are now in opposition. I mean, if you also take into cognizance their submission that the former governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, who was a PDP member and then transitioned to APC, that nothing has been heard about the alleged case that he was supposed to answer with the EFCC. That should be pushed to EFCC. My position is clear in this matter. If you look at Section 15, subsection 5 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, it says that the state shall abolish corrupt practice and abuse of office. So if we have agencies that are saddled with due responsibility, why not? And all you need to do is go there and explain yourself. And then even beyond the issue of EFCC inviting some to question that some perceive as being selective, even when the Supreme Court eventually, and that should be the 12th of March 2021, affirmed the conviction of Joshua Darie, the former governor of Plateau State, his jail term, eventually the Council of State granted him pardon. So, I mean, the big question is that, is Nigeria even fighting corruption?
You see, so
okay, if there is no legal basis for these accusations, I mean, there are, from what you were saying, there are legitimate cases for investigation. Now, why aren't the EFCC calling these gentlemen to their offices? So what would be behind this aligning the fact that EFCC has invited them to be a political move by the opposition? Some would possibly argue that it's whipping sentiments in their favor against the ruling party. Could that be the purpose?
I support that to an extent, but which one of them will not play that ball? If it were to be ADC in power, will they not also? And that is why some of us speak specifically about having a sound system where the rule of law prevails. I mean, we politicize all these things. If indeed there is an explanation on disappearance of money, why not? And I have instances on the fact that investigation is not conclusive, it's not conviction. Look at the case of the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose. He was also invited by EFCC. He submitted himself, released some money, he's being prosecuted. But right now he's been discharged because of lack of diligent prosecution. And so I don't want us to now say it's because of, please, if there's corruption in the land, let EFCC go ahead and do their job. And I don't like this issue of sentimentalizing all these issues. If we must fight corruption, let's fight corruption. If Tambuwal is not complicit in any allegation, let it be. I mean, he's presumed innocent. So making the statement that is to witch hunt or whatever, some of them have gone around all the parties. We are seeking good governance in Nigeria, so I won't dance to the tunes of saying EFCC.
I mean, you said it yourself. Either parties will play similar cards.
Definitely.
At the end of
this
the day,
Nigeria.
Fighting corruption and politics, there seems to be a thin line. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. He's been released anyway. So, and I don't see, if you look at the former governors that have even been sentenced to imprisonment in this country, there are about 3, and they all were released off the hook.
Again.
So,
thank you very much, Jide, for speaking with us and sharing your thoughts.
You are welcome. God bless Nigeria.